Hello, and in today's video we're going to continue our look at the JOYTOY Warhammer 40,000 line. So previously we saw the Astra Militatum, so an Imperial Guard 10 centimeters or so high. However, this big boy is a Space Ork. It's an Ork Commando, it's Nobz, and he's a little bit over 11 centimeters. Although weirdly, this packaging is enormous because you can almost get 2 boxes high, compared to the width of the Imperial Guard. And strangely, the Ork is actually not upright in the box, it actually comes in the packaging sideways. So if I open this up, as you can see, it's not quite as impressive as the Imperial Guard for accessories. So you've got your Ork, your radar dish and your gun, but there's not much else going on. And one of the problems with this figure is the articulation is a bit reduced. However, it's an impressive figure, and it's the reason I actually bought some JOYTOY figures. I specifically wanted this figure because he just looks awesome, and he is quite a chunky boy. He's as big as Terminators, he's got some heft to him, and although he's got some limited posability, he's still got a decent amount compared to just a normal figure. Now, he does stand on his own 2 feet. He doesn't seem to come with a base, so I don't know what that's all about. The gun, the bolter, is impressive, or shooter I should say, is pretty impressive. Nice chunky thing. It does fit in this hand, although annoyingly no spare hand, which is one of the things I'd like to see. This radar dish fits in here. Would have been nice for something else, maybe a snotlin or a squig or a flagpole, anything like that. I suppose you could 3D print something. And this arm, although it's got articulation on the sort of finger digits, the actual claw and the bolt, the piston here rather, that doesn't move, which is disappointing. In addition, this pipe seems to be glued in, so if you do want to remove the backpack, you're left with this sort of cable dangling. So it would have been nice to either been able to disconnect this or possibly the arm and fit an alternative arm. So that's all sorts of things they could do if they ever re-ran this. Now the other bit I'd love is a jaw that moved, but then I suppose you'd have ugly lines. So I don't know, there's pros and cons. Maybe a couple of heads, one with the cap, one with a movable mouth, and then a third option maybe. That would be really, really cool. But, who knows what they'd want to charge, because this is about twice the price of the Imperial Guard and probably 3 times the price to maybe 5 times the price of something like a McFarlane toy figure. So, it's not cheap. It's got pretty good mobility, backwards and forwards on the legs, the body. Oh, my grenade's fallen off, so I have to reattach that. It just pops on there. So that's nice to see. But again, without this hand being massively posable, having him hold the grenades, tricksy. So yeah, but I mean, I've got him into all sorts of positions, balancing. If I try hard enough, I could probably get him to balance on one leg. There you go, so he's balancing on one leg. So he does have pretty good solidity, but this is a very big backpack on the back, so he can tip backwards, but as you can see, he's got this hunchback face forward throw with this big claw, so if you move him too far forward he tips forward. So you do have to be careful if you're trying to not have him standing bolt upright to balance him by moving an arm back or something. Now the arm is stiff but does actually move, it twists, it bends, but this reveals the other problem I have with this figure. It's got this lovely bend here, but at the expense of looking a bit ugly, and similar thing with the knee joint. So lots of flexibility, but it just looks a bit ugly, and I don't know if they could have maybe covered that up with something so you don't actually see it. I am aware the new Space Marines, they've changed the design of the joints, so they look a bit better when you're extending them. So yeah, a really cool figure. I'm going to throw up some pictures now of him posed holding the Imperial Guard. And I've got to say, I think this is a really, really good, fun figure. Not quite as blowing me away as the Imperial Guard from its adaptability and extras, but as an actual character form sculpt, I mean, look at that. That's the face only, another Ork could love, let's be honest. And I am very interested in the rest of the Ork figures. There's a couple I'm not so keen on, but the burner, the sort of commando with the Tommy gun and the sniper, they look really cool. And 4 Orks, that would be enough for anyone, surely. The other 2, they're not so bad, but yeah, price-wise, that they're not cheap to buy. These are chunky figures, deluxe quality, posable rather than toy style bits. So yeah, I recommend this figure. It's really good, but curb your enthusiasm based on the fact that, you know, there is limited adaptability with it. What you see is pretty much what you get, but you know, you can twist his head. It doesn't move up and down much. It goes down more than up, which I suppose, being tall, is probably a good idea. But yeah, anyway, so hopefully the pictures that I'm going to take will hopefully show you the adaptability. I don't want to fiddle with it too much. I'm already knocking bits and pieces off trying to operate it behind my camera. So, you know, the quality of the paint, the quality of the sculpt, lots to recommend this figure. But yeah, make sure you got your budget for it, and also, as I say, set your expectations based on what it can and can't do, and the fact that although it is very posable, you might have ugly bits to cover up, but you know, you can get him running. And again, if I tried really hard, maybe could have him running with you know, balanced on one leg, who knows. Probably need to pull this in and pull that out, and then there you go, he's running towards us on one leg. That will probably do for this video, trying to keep these short and sweet and just give you a quick look at what they're like and decide if it's something you'd like. And of course, what I'm going to look at is how can I create some skirmish rules to actually use this in a game. Call me crazy, but there you go. Anyway, till the next video, happy gaming.